What if I told you that most people are getting their morning walk completely wrong? Not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because of one belief that's quietly sabotaging their efforts. The idea that exercise only starts working after weeks of grinding it out. That belief is wrong, and today I'm going to show you exactly why. Because a landmark study found that measurable protective changes begin happening inside your cardiovascular system within the first 8 to 12 minutes of a single walk. Not at the 30 days, not after your third workout. 8 minutes. So let's start the clock and go inside your body in real time. The moment your foot hits the pavement, your body doesn't register pleasant stroll. Your ancient fight-or-flight system fires a signal that essentially says something is happening. What if I told you that most people are getting their morning walk completely wrong? Not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because of one belief that's quietly sabotaging their efforts. The idea that exercise only starts working after weeks of grinding it out. That belief is wrong, and today I'm going to show you exactly why. Because a landmark study found that measurable protective changes begin happening inside your cardiovascular system within the first 8 to 12 minutes of a single walk. Not at the 30 days, not after your third workout. 8 minutes. So let's start the clock and go inside your body in real time. The moment your foot hits the pavement, your body doesn't register pleasant stroll. Your ancient fight-or-flight system fires a signal that essentially says something is happening, mobilize. Within the first 10 seconds, your heart rate climbs. Your adrenal glands release a tiny pulse of epinephrine, the same molecule that floods your system when you narrowly avoid a car accident. Think of your body as a city that just received an emergency alert. Every department gets the message at once. Traffic control, the power grid, the water supply, we're moving now. By 30 seconds in, your muscles are already burning through their immediate energy reserves. Your calves, your glutes, they need oxygen, and they need it fast. Your heart responds by beating harder and pushing more blood out with each contraction. It's the difference between a garden hose and a fire hose. And then, around minute 2, something extraordinary begins. The faster blood flowing through your arteries is physically stimulating the inner lining of your blood vessels. Scientists call this shear stress, and before you tune out, I promise this is the good kind. It's the same principle as building muscle. You have to stress it for it to grow stronger. In response to that shear stress, your cells begin releasing a molecule called nitric oxide. If there's one thing you remember from this video, make it this. Nitric oxide is basically biological WD-40 for your arteries. It signals the muscles surrounding your blood vessels to relax. The vessels widen, blood pressure dips, blood flows more freely. A 2021 study found that even a single 10-minute brisk walk boosted the enzyme that produces nitric oxide for up to 90 minutes after the walk ended. Let that sink in. You walk for 10 minutes, your arteries stay in a healthier, more relaxed state for an hour and a half afterward. That's not a distant, invisible benefit you have to take on faith. That's happening right now on every single walk you take. Now here's where most people stop, just before the real magic begins. Because somewhere between minutes 8 and 12, something shifts. For the first 7 minutes or so, your body's just reacting, keeping up. But cross that threshold and your body stops merely coping and starts adapting. And the difference between those two words is enormous. Adaptive means your heart is learning. It's restructuring itself at the cellular level to handle this workload more efficiently the next time around. Specifically, your body begins ramping up production of a protein called VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor. This protein literally grows new blood vessels. A 2022 paper in Cell Metabolism calls this angiogenic priming. One walk of the right duration plants the seed for a more robust cardiovascular network. Your heart isn't just a pump, it's a self-renovating infrastructure project, and walking is the construction crew. But here's the catch, and this is where millions of people are unknowingly wasting their effort. Intensity matters. A casual stroll, phone in hand, keeps your heart rate in what's called zone 1. Better than sitting, sure, but it will not trigger that VEGF response. It will not remodel your heart. You need zone 2. The test is simple. You can still hold a conversation, but you'd rather not. You're slightly breathless. You can feel the effort. For a 40-year-old, that's roughly 108 to 126 beats per minute. Think of it like a river. A slow trickle doesn't reshape the riverbed, but a sustained, purposeful current carves entirely new channels. Zone 2 is that current. A massive 2023 meta-analysis in The Lancet found that brisk walkers had a 24% lower risk of cardiovascular death compared to slow walkers, regardless of total step count. Steps alone are not the answer. Pace is. Now let's talk about what happens when you actually stack these walks together. After just 7 days of consistent brisk walking, your resting heart rate begins to drop. Your heart is already becoming more efficient. After 21 days, the wall of your heart's main pumping chamber becomes more flexible, filling with blood more completely, pumping it out more forcefully. It is, quite literally, becoming a better pump. After 6 weeks, a study in the journal Circulation found that previously sedentary adults saw a 15% improvement in arterial health and a 9-point drop in systolic blood pressure. To put that in perspective, that's comparable to what some medications achieve. And here's the longevity piece that genuinely floored me. A 2020 study in JAMA Internal Medicine found that brisk walkers had a biological age 16 years younger than slow walkers. This wasn't based on how they looked or felt. It was measured through telomere length, the protective caps on your DNA. Think of them like the plastic tips on shoelaces. Age and chronic stress slowly wear them down. Brisk walking dramatically slows that erosion. Every walk is protecting the coastline of your DNA. So what's the actual protocol? What does the science say is the minimum effective dose? 3 things. Duration, at least 10 to 12 continuous minutes. No stopping to check your phone, no breaking it into fragments. Your body needs a sustained stimulus. Intensity, zone 2. Slightly breathless, where conversation feels like genuine effort. Frequency, 5 days a week to get the compounding benefits. That's it. That's the protocol that triggers new blood vessel growth, remodels your heart, protects your DNA, and measurably reduces your risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. No supplement, no expensive gym, just 20 minutes, slightly breathless, 5 days a week. The exact moment walking starts saving your heart? Minute 8. But you only ever reach minute 8 if you show up for minute 7 first. So next time you step outside, remember, you're not just taking a walk, you're conducting a biological symphony, a cascade of real, measurable change that begins before you've even finished your first song. Your arteries are already waiting. Now go walk.